right, and we are recording, and we have a very special guest here, Regina Williams, Councilwoman Regina Williams of Harper Woods, joining us for Quick to Politic, and we are about to go live. I'm your host, Ernestine Lyons, and stay tuned as we go live, and I'll do this introduction all over again. So, one moment. Hello, everybody out there on Facebook Live. My name is Ernestine Lyons. I am the host of Quick to Politic, the social commentary podcast and web series. We have less than 2 weeks until the primaries here in Michigan. And so there is a new 11th House district that has been created. And we have one of our candidates here for state rep. My own hometown's Harper Woods City Councilwoman, Regina Williams. And so Regina, I'm just gonna read a little bit about your bio and then tell us about yourself and we'll jump right into some questions. Okay, so Regina is a resident of Harper Woods, Michigan here, and she has dedicated a lifetime to public service. She's a former military police lieutenant. So I knew you were in the military. I didn't realize a lieutenant.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, and is a career educator for over 26 years with Detroit Public Schools, the community district, teaching math and at Renaissance High School. So Regina Williams also serves on Harper Woods City Council and is was previously a member of the Harper Woods School Board, elected for 2 terms, and she has had the distinction to serve as treasurer, vice president, and president. She is the first African American to be elected Harper Woods School Board president. All right, so tell us more about yourself, and I'll stop talking. Let the people get to know you.
Okay, thanks, Ernestine. First, I'd like to say thank you very much for inviting me to your podcast. I guess a little bit more about myself is I grew up on the east side of Detroit, so I'm really familiar with the east side. I grew up off Traverse and Van Dyke, for those who know the area. My mother, sisters, everywhere still stay on the east side, so even though I live in Harper Woods, I'm a true Detroiter through and through. I used to live in a kind of low socioeconomic area when I grew up. So a lot of that is what fuels me to do the things I do, because I want to make it better for people coming up after me. And that's why I went into education. So I have a master's degree. I have a bachelor's degree from Wayne State in biology. I have a master's degree also from Wayne State University. I've taken classes for my doctorate. So I did all but my doctoral dissertation. I'm going back to school to get my EDS.
All
I
right.
like to get my ed specialist degree because I believe education is a lifelong journey. You know, there's always something to learn, and we just keep on moving with education. So from there, I moved to Harper Woods later because I like the houses. And I wanted to do more for my community. As a teacher, I'm always giving back to my students, and I see things that maybe they, that they need, that there are things that students need more so than just learning math and science. You know, it's like a family experience. So, and that's what fuel what I do, is I like to give back to my community and make it better for everybody. So I ran for Harper Woods School Board and got elected. And I did very well my first 4 years. And so I ran again, got elected again, and served. So it was 2 terms. And then from there, I wanted to do more for my community. So I ran for city council. And here I am, 3 years into my city council with Harper Woods.
All right, all right. Well, that is quite an illustrious past. You've got all the education, military background, and educating our kids and teaching the importance of, just leadership and being an example yourself, and we definitely need more female leaders. And so, I'm really glad that you have decided to, take it to the next level and run for state rep. And so we're just going to jump right into our questions. So We have a very diverse district here with the new House district. So the east side of Detroit, and of course Harper Woods and St. Clair Shores. So
Mhm.
why do you want to run for to represent this area, this particular, demographic?
Okay. I believe that I'm a strong leader and that the state representative, I think they need change. And they also need intelligent change, not just people who get up there and just want to be there, but someone who's really intelligent. ha- I'm an experienced leadership. So someone who's really going to try to make changes and truly help the community. Also, I believe I'm a representative of where I live and where I came from. A representative of the East Side, representative of Harper Woods. I shop in St. Clair Shores, go to the Kroger right up the street. So I believe, as a state rep, you need someone who's truly going to represent your community, and someone who has good leadership skills, not just someone who just wants the job. With my military background, I worked my way up from a private with no stripes, zero, nothing, E nothing, all the way up to first lieutenant. So that was quite a journey for me. I'm someone who believe in not giving up, who believe in you know, keep working hard, keep trying to do your best. Back in the past, I took martial arts classes, and it was the same thing. Don't give up, keep on
Uh,
going, do your best. I started from a white belt, worked my way all the way up to a first degree black belt. So I'm a dedicated individual. I believe in hard work, dedication, perseverance, working hard, and being a servant to my community.
all right, that is impressive. So martial art. I
Yes.
feel like every time I have someone on the show, like Cynthia Douglas, who's with the NAACP for Grosse Pointe and Harper Woods, um,
Mhm.
she used to be a bodybuilder, and I found that out. So I feel like you guys are, full of all kinds of secrets in this area. So and
Yeah.
and wonderful talents. So
Yes.
um, I really want to, you talked about education, and of course
Mhm.
you have all this talent and all this education. I really want to make sure that the people are educated on what exactly a state rep does. So tell us in your words, what is a state rep and why is it important to vote for state rep? I think so many people get caught up in the politics of things and not necessarily knowing at the house level, at the state level, federal, local, what are all these positions for? And, what does electing a state representative at this level actually even mean for the people? So tell us in your words, what is state rep?
Okay. A state rep is someone who represents a particular area of a city or a community. For when I'm running for District 11, I'm going to represent the east side of Detroit, Harper Woods, and St. Clair Shores. So it's a representative from your community who represents the community's beliefs. And when they get to the state legislature, they help to make policies. So these policies are things that enact changes that could affect your community and the way that we live and work. So it's important to make a good selection of your state representative because they really can have a very positive hand in creating change in your society. Um, I know our state representative that we elected before was instrumental in helping Harper Woods because we had a problem with our population levels, and that there was bills that was coming up and things that was changing. And the way that we were funding was going to be decided, certain funds based on the population. So you should be able to always access your state representative and someone who you can get in touch with and ask for support and with your program. So they help to make the policies that surround many of the things that we do.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that breakdown. And I think that that's a succinct way of kind of explaining it to all levels of education. And, whether it's the 18-year-old who's, fresh out of high school or maybe still in high school and they're voting for the first time, or for kids to even instill, that sense of when I grow up, this is my civic duty. And then even that
Mhm.
apathetic voter who, as I've been phone banking for folks who are out there running for different races, people are like, I'm
Mhm.
still undecided. I'm like, undecided. It's like two
Mhm.
weeks. So it's really important to really educate folks on what the offices are and why they're important. So thank you for
Yes.
that. And I do want to segue right into, say, okay, all right, it's election day and Regina Williams is our new state rep. What are
Yeah.
some of your you're doing your presidential wave and the crowd goes wild. Love it. Um, so what are some of the main policy issues that you want to tackle? And, what are some things that you feel are important for, the folks of Harper Woods, Detroit, and St. Clair Shores?
Okay, well, one of the main policies, of course, is the economy because we're all being hit so hard with these very high gas prices and also going to the grocery stores and having to pay so much for food. So definitely right away hit the economy and try to do whatever I can, look at the policies to try to support a better economy because we shouldn't have to pay what we pay for our food. A lot of people are living check to check, and it's hard. It's hard sometimes. We have to decide, whether you should, what food you should buy, and even what grocery stores you should go to, and how you should shop. I know that within my own household, we've cut back on a lot of our meat, so we don't eat as much meat. We're eating a lot more fruits and vegetables because it just costs too much. And so, on a regular paycheck or it's hard. The economy is hard. So that's definitely number one I would tackle. And I think some other things I would tackle, of course, I'm always an advocate of education, and I believe in equity in education. There's a difference between equality and equity. Equality in education is if you had, say, $100 and you split it between two schools, one school gets 50, the other school gets 50, so that's equal. But that's not equitable because one school may need more books, may need more supplies, may need better building structures. So that school may need more funding. So that would be equity. So I'm a huge proponent of trying to create to get equity in education, not just equality. Is that it? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so education is a priority and the
Mhm.
economy is a priority.
Yeah,
And it
there's a
sounds
few
like
others too, but
right,
like
right.
gun
Um,
violence, of course.
right, right. And I'll make sure that I link in your website because I know
Mhm.
that on there there's so much detail in your plan and there's lots of information that you have, for the public so that they can, know who you are and what you stand for.
Yes.
And so, that's really important to be able to just kind of rectify all of the economic kind of hardships that we're facing right
Yes.
now, with the gas prices and the way that inflation is, at an
Mhm.
all-time high and
Yes.
just came out of, well, we're still in, this global pandemic. And, so
Right.
that's really important for us to be cognizant of and, bring legislation about that can really help
Yes.
to, make things easier for Michiganders.
Mhm.
So, well, and that brings me to, one other question that I have here. And, we have quite a few people who are running for state rep, and there
Right.
were 11 people for the 11th district, and
Mhm.
then two, I think, two or three, I think, ended up having to drop out. So,
Mhm.
so we have seven folks vying for this race. So it's definitely crowded. And, so far I've talked to candidates who talks about prioritizing mental health and
Mhm.
prevailing wage, and then talking about environmentalism
Mhm.
and just infrastructure and how our infrastructure is definitely it's seen better days and we need to
Right.
strive for making things better. So what is it that, and I know you talked on some issues that are near and dear to your heart and you feel like are really important for the voters of the new 11th district. What are some things that set you apart from other candidates, and why should people tell us why, vote Regina Williams on August 2nd?
Okay, I think one huge thing that sets me apart from many of the candidates is I'm a proven leader. Not just I mean, I have a past of making intelligent, thoughtful decisions, both as a military officer, both as Harper Woods school board, and like I said, the public trusted in me and elected me for 2 terms, and then my peers trusted in me and elected me as president. So I'm a proven leader and I'm trusted within the community,
Don't
and also
forget
being on the
city
city
council.
council.
Right. Don't forget that. That's really
Right.
big too.
Right. So, and then I'm very passionate about what I do. I truly believe that, as an elected official, you are here to serve the people. You are here to represent your community and to look out for your community and their beliefs and do what's in their best interest. It's not just looking at what the big businesses or big companies or corporations want you to do. It's looking out for your community. And that's something I've done, I think, all my life in everything I've chosen to do.
All right. Well, thank you for those responses. And there are a few folks who are out here in cyberspace on Facebook who are joining us and
Okay.
reviewing. And thank you guys so much for watching out there. Feel free to drop your questions in the chat. We do have a question. Okay, let's see. David says we need change badly. And go Regina. Already have my vote.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then there's also a question of, is it just the 3 cities for the 11th house? Yes, yes. Um,
Yes.
and so I want to get into one last question and then,
Mhm.
we'll give the day back to you. And, it's really about a state rep should be accessible. And
Mhm.
what would you plan to, how would you make yourself available to the community? And, what are some ways in which you would engage with the people of St. Clair Shores and Detroit and, Harper Woods?
I think well, having different meetings with the community is very, very important. Um, when you get everyone together and they have questions, you should definitely be accessible. I like the idea of being accessible at least every 2 weeks at, say, a local spot that's, someplace that anybody can
Houses.
reach.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's McDonald's or my favorite is Starbucks. I'm a Starbucks fan, or Tim Hortons, um, especially places that have food and coffee. But being there, being accessible, being there so that you can meet the public, talk to the public, find out what what your interests are, whatever concerns you. But like every 2 weeks, make yourself accessible. So I would be at some place that that's local, because I also believe in
St. Clair
supporting
Shores
our
has
local.
lots of coffee. Oh, sorry to cut in, but like St. Clair Shores
Okay,
has amazing coffee houses, and St. Clair Shores has a ton of ice cream shops.
yes,
So
they do.
ice cream with the state rep, maybe.
Yes. So places like that, places that's good for the community that you've heard of, places that you shop, that you go to, that I shop, that I go to, so local places, and it helps to support local businesses, and I believe in that also.
All right, all right. So supporting local business and being there for town halls, for coffee with the state rep, and then ice cream with the state rep. Just giving you
Yes, ice cream.
that. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for being a part of this and telling us who you are. And hopefully, folks, I'm looking here to see there quite a few people did join us, and uh you're accessible. Where can we find more information about you, like on social media website, and what is your closing message
Mhm.
as we go to the polls in a little under a week and cast our ballot for state rep?
Okay, first, you can find Regina Williams at on the internet. I'm at www.votereginawilliams.com. So just put vote right in front of my name, votereginawilliams.com, and you'll see my website. You can also reach me on Facebook, either at my regular website, Regina Williams, or again at Vote Regina Williams. So I think the party message that I would like to leave for you, because we are really close to polls, is that the primary election is super important, because this is the election where you actually have the opportunity to decide who you want to represent you. So like there are 11 of us running, so you make your choice. It's very important for you to choose who is best representative of your beliefs, your ideals, um, who have you in mind, someone who's going to make intelligent decisions, someone who has a good background with working with the people. Um, so, you know, is extremely important. When we get to the general election, it's just about mostly choosing your party. So there's one person for each party. But for the primary, it's where you really get your choice. So if you have those absentee ballots out there, please fill them out. Go down the list till you see Regina L. Williams and go ahead and check that box. So it's really important for you to go ahead and vote. It's a right that we have and a right that people defend. So I'm looking forward to your vote at the polls and representing you in District 11. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ernestine.
Oh, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for agreeing to come on my little old podcast and talk politics. So, and thank you for all the hard work that you do on Harper Woods City Council. And yeah, all right. So thank you for watching out there, folks in cyberspace on Facebook. David Callis says thank you. And so yeah, and then there's also, we have Mrs. Andrew Fortune. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Mr. Toussaint, for watching. So thank you, everybody out there, and have a great night. All right, our live stream has ended. And so thank you for all of those who are listening out there. And remember to vote for Regina Williams out here on primary day in Michigan and all over the country. Make sure that no matter where you're listening or watching from, make sure you go out there and vote if you're in the US. And the primaries are just as important as the main elections. And make sure that you get educated, because you got an actual PhD sitting here in front of you telling you to go out there and vote. And so educate yourself on the issues and go to the polls. So thank you. And if you like my content on politics, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and to share our videos for Quick to Politic. And if you're listening out there, you can support me on Patreon if you want to hear more like this. And thank you so much for joining me, Councilwoman Regina Williams, and candidate for state rep for the Michigan House of Representatives, the new 11th district. All right. Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.